Let's go. Hello, hello. So today we are here with the magical. That's the first word that came to mind. Jess Quigley. Thank you for joining me, Jess. Very much appreciated.
Oh, you are
How
so
are you?
incredibly welcome. I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Amazing.
Celebrating an incredible year and always enjoy being in your space in all of the
Oh,
different things.
very much a charmer. So before this conversation, the few minutes before, we we were just chatting, myself and Jess, and it's a year ago today since Jess reached out and sent me a message and said, "Hey, this offer that you've got going on at the moment in the Facebook group, I think I want a piece of it, basically." And yeah, so it's very convenient that it's a year ago today. Didn't plan it that way, but here we are. So super cool.
So good.
Super, super cool. All right, so a bit of a background. I'll let you dive in, Jess, because I don't give the best intro. So
Yeah.
for those watching on, some of the people will know you already, but for those who don't, why don't you give us a quick insight into what you do, who you are, etc.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm a business coach slash consultant, and what I really love to do is help women make insane amounts of money through absolute ease, through
Mm,
excitement, through joy, and through no sacrifice of their family time, of their peace, of their presence. I really love the game of supporting women create lives for themselves that really light them up and being able to do that in a really easy way. Because when I left corporate, and it's coming up 5 years ago for me,
Congratulations.
actually, in January, so I'm coming up to
Cool.
the 5 year mark. I created amazing results in my business right from the get-go, but it was a disservice to my family. It was a disservice to my marriage. It was a disservice to my energy, you could say, because I was burning out. I was exhausted, and there wasn't really any peace. I was very grateful for the results that I got, and I was enjoying it, but
Mm.
there was just it wasn't sustainable long term. There was a lot of problems that were compounding, and like if I'm really honest, looking back on 5 years ago, it really was a big mess. Really, it was pretty full on. Yeah,
Yeah, and here you are today.
yeah, yeah. So when my clients are able to create these amazing lives doing what they love, and they just have soul of the soulmate clients that just sign up with them effortlessly, that just brings me so much joy. And I just got off a call with one of my clients who signed into one of my 6 month mentorships, and she's just doubled her investment with me in the first 4 weeks of us working together. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. And she only works, again, she's not working long hours. She only works a few hours a day. And she's just moved into a beautiful home with a pool, and, she's living her dream life. But she gets to start to shift more into that and supporting her with that identity piece. Yeah, it's just very, very exciting.
Love that, Jess. And I think one of the pieces that I resonate with you on this
Yep.
is the flow and the happiness
Yep.
of bringing on clients and connecting with what your words were, soulmate clients.
Yep.
And I think in the background there, to do that really well and as well as you do it, I think there's got to be a lot of joy happening for you. And we've all, this is something I've said to you all along,
Yep.
is you know, your business works and it's getting better and better all the time. But your
Yep.
business works is because you have done the groundwork to connect to what that is for you, i.e., happiness, i.e., drive,
Yep.
i.e.,
Yep.
all the things that are going to make your
Yep.
business successful. So,
Yep.
having said that,
Yep.
let's dive into 12 months ago,
Yep.
um, today, and our first conversation. Like we'd worked together before, so it wasn't brand new. But 12 months ago,
Yep.
we had a conversation, not specifically, but like what was life like? What was business like?
Yep.
Because you were doing really well,
Yep.
but where were you at? Because again, there's going to be people on this that understand you, but
Yep.
also are in the same position and just thinking, there's no help with this. How do I get out of it? So
Yeah.
where were you at in that kind of like phase?
I I was doing really well, to be honest.
Hmm.
I really had moved through a lot of heaviness. I was able to come into the light completely. I really had shifted into a place where I was working with clients that I much more enjoyed previously.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of problems. The main problem for me was my workload was still huge, and um, I was creating that because I guess I still was hanging on to those beliefs that you've just got to work really hard for money and you just need to be busy and doing lots of things in the background to ensure that you're driving this ship forward and that the clients are coming through. And I was able to let go of like can't tell you how much of that over the last 12 months. Like I can remember when there was a time, I don't know if I've actually told you this, but there was a time during our mentorship where I wish I hadn't have signed up with you,
Yeah.
honestly, because it was so frightening to me where you were taking me that I hadn't quite marinated in that new identity, but I couldn't go back to who I was.
Mm,
And I remember there was a couple of weeks there where I was just like, I just want to go back to the way that I was doing things because it wasn't too bad. I could
yeah.
continue on with that forever. The results were pretty good, but you'd taken me into this new chapter that I couldn't go backwards. I couldn't go back into it. And I was freaking out. Like I was
Yeah.
so scared. Like, yeah, my business model didn't match who I was becoming. I didn't know yet who I actually was becoming. And a lot of scarcity came up, a lot of contraction, a lot of fear, huge amounts of unknown. I basically felt like I didn't have a business at one point because I
Yeah.
was like, I just can't do the old way, but I don't know what the new way is.
It's wild, isn't it? Because our very first call, the conversation we had, because you said something along the lines of like, "Oh, what if I go back?" And I said, "You might have to crumble this all down," and you were like, "Absolutely not." And 4 weeks later, it's on the pathway. And again, I don't want to say. Actually, I want to ask, was it
Yep.
worth it? Was it worth it?
Oh, uh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I would not be the person. Oh, I, I think it scares me to think if I hadn't have signed up to work with you, where I would
Mm.
be today. Honestly, like not only in my business, but in like all areas of life as well. And so, I was able to speed up and collapse 10 years of what would have taken me maybe mumbly fumbling around with other coaches and bits and bobs and staying in safety and working really, really hard and talking to people that are just not a fit and a match for my vision and movement. And yeah, that frightens me to think about where I would be if we hadn't have done the work that we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so what are the main differences now? Because that spell was a good few months as well. Like it wasn't, we didn't kind of go, hey, this one conversation, and the next day everything's fine. Jesse's killing it. And like you were, but in so many different ways. And this is why I really want to have this conversation with you, Jess, because
Yeah.
I think coaches want to present like this. We've all got great lives. Like we're in this space
Yeah.
where we
Oh,
get
yeah.
to serve, we make
Yes.
a lot of money,
Yes.
and we either work long hours or we don't. I
Yeah.
choose not to, but
Yeah.
we're in this really blessed position.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it's then very interesting to hear somebody who's making, well into the multi six figures to say, wow, like things were good, but things could be so much better. So, what were some of the things, not necessarily specifics again, what were
Yeah.
some of the things you had to go through in order to kind of like come out of the other side and, yeah, just be where you are now, where you're increased in income and you're working a few hours a day?
Yeah.
Like that was your goal. So
Yeah.
yeah, talk to me about that.
So, well, one of the tangible things that I let go of was low end offers.
Mm, wow.
Um, I was doing a lot of low end offers. That was my business model last year. And It worked. It brought people in at a low end offer, and then some of those people signed up at the premium level. But yeah, again, it was a lot of work. It was still a lot of sort of sorting through a lot of people that, just weren't, really at that level of commitment that would be required to come into my world at the premium level. It was just a lot of noise, like a lot of
Yeah.
busyness going on, even hype. I can feel it was a lot of sort of hype in the background. I guess it was probably a lot of what I had created to make myself feel like I was really moving forward and really successful. But like what I've realized is that it's just not needed actually. And it's actually, it's not where I'm going, because I'd rather
Mm.
be resting and reading my favorite book than running a whole lot
Nice.
of low end offers.
Yeah.
Because actually resting and reading my favorite book is actually going to bring through the premium clients by me doing those things and looking after my health and not just sort of filling in time with a whole lot of hype, busy, busy, busy.
Yeah.
So that was a big shift. Low end offers went pretty much straight away. And oh, the other thing that was like, I think you said to me, that you don't do payment plans. And I just thought I would be years off implementing that. And it was only a few months into the mentorship. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I don't do payment plans for coaching.
Yeah.
I've still actually held on to payment plans for my retreats,
Yeah.
which felt quite aligned for me. But with the coaching, it's a different energetics. It's
Yeah.
like
Sure.
you have to teach that which you want to support your clients with. And yeah, so the processes all marinate in with setting your client up for the best success.
Yeah.
Even in terms of their relationship with money, when they put down those deposits and they need to get resourceful behind the scenes to pay their commitment in full in the next, 72 hours to a week maximum. Money like speed, right? So
Yes.
it sets them up really powerfully. So yeah, letting go of monthly payment plans was incredibly daunting, because when I left corporate, I had built my whole business on recurring monthly revenue. I got to 5K recurring monthly revenue first, and we went to 10. I got all the way up to over $30,000 recurring monthly revenue, and that was very safe. I
Mm.
knew that those clients were contracted for the 6 to 12 months. They made their payments monthly. And so, again, to take all of that away felt incredibly unsafe for me. I mean,
Mm.
it was really, a lot of fear came up. And I couldn't believe it too, because I just was like, I rejected that when you shared that that's what you do. I thought, well, that's all very good, but like that's not the situation.
That's not for me.
So it's actually like what's really interesting is that the work that we've done together, I feel like I haven't had a choice. Like I didn't decide, Jessica Quigley didn't decide that I was going to take away recurring monthly revenue. It was almost like my soul chose that path and therefore called in your mentorship. So I had already said yes to that before we even started working
Mm.
together. And so it was like a soul decision. Because I wouldn't have decided it. I would have
Yeah.
hung on to what was safe. But so therefore I felt like it was all moving through me and it was already like put in motion. And so then I was just like, well, I just can't do recurring monthly payment plans anymore. I spiritually just couldn't do things in a way that I used to do them.
Yeah.
And so, like it just all shifted. But again, it was, no safety. The safety nets just got blown out of the water like massively.
Yeah, and isn't this great though? Because what you've done in the last 6 to 12 months is you've now created your own safety. Like you've decided that I'm safe. You have
Yeah.
decided that
Yeah.
I have this much money coming in. You have decided that you have this business
Yeah.
that runs in 2 hours a day, and
Yeah.
I still get to be super profitable.
Yeah.
The the clients and the momentum, all of that is following your lead. Whereas before, your safety was in somebody else's structure. Your safety
Yeah.
was in somebody else's way of doing
Yeah.
things. And yeah, so our first conversation was not hey, you've got to go off payment plans. You just said, oh, I'm having these issues. And I was like, yeah, probably payment plans will solve
Yep.
that, like taking those out. And you said, absolutely not. And then 3 months later, maybe less, you said, I remember the conversation, you came to me and said, Martin, I don't think I can do another payment plan. Great. That's kind of how this went. So I love what you're saying there, Jess, because it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a lot of your success, and this is everyone's success, by the
Yeah.
way, but you're talking about it amazingly.
Yeah.
It's down to decisions, but it's down to that piece where you
Yeah.
go, you know what, this doesn't feel safe, or whatever the words are,
Yeah.
but I'm being called to this way, so I've got to trust it. And
Yeah.
I would say that that's what you've got. So outside looking in as a
Yeah.
mentor to you now,
Yeah.
the piece that I'm most happy for you is you're really trusting your own decisions.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to do. Like people watching this video now and listening to Jess, I want you to see how that has transitioned. Not
Yeah.
forget the money, forget the hours of the day.
Yeah.
Look at that because that's
Yeah.
what, if you're in the situation
Yeah.
Jess was in a year ago,
Mm.
that's what you're going to need to change is like trusting your own decisions and going with it 100%,
Mm.
even when you don't think you've got a business anymore.
And I think
Uh,
like in our mentorship too, in the very beginning, I think I even said to you like something like, I need to be safe. Like
mm,
safety, is my highest sort of value. And it was unsafing myself. This
yeah,
whole, it was really allowing myself to walk in the unknown. And that is actually the safety,
yeah,
and so the piece that comes as a byproduct of that, I just can't describe it. Just over these last few months, uh, they're just the scarcity that I used to have that kind of would just come in at different times. It's very much going away. They're just,
mhm,
and also too, like obviously the drive for the money goals is there as well, but it's kind of all shifted again too. Um, just so much has changed. It's
yeah,
yeah, just yeah, a lot has changed completely. And I'm really excited because I think about how much I've been able to change things in the last 12 months. I know that everyone does say this and it does feel pretty cliche saying it, but I really do feel like that. I really haven't even gotten started yet. I honestly do feel like that. I really feel like that I just have got so much more growth and there's I'm really only just now getting on that train. And so yeah, I'm excited for the next 12 months, the next 24 months. And when I think about in 5 years from now, how much change I've been able to shift into in just the last 12 months, it blows my mind. I can't even conceive what is up there in the next 5 years. Like,
yeah.
because it all really does come from that byproduct of growth. And and it really is that identity. It was a word that I couldn't relate to up until just recently, but now I really understand what that identity is. And when you are just living and breathing in that identity, like you say, Martin, the world around you moves. And
Mm,
it's so true. And like just allowing myself that safety of I can still be paid huge amounts of money and I don't need to work hard for it.
yeah,
Actually, I can just pop up some things on Facebook and in the identity, know that those clients are just going to come through and it's just going to be so easy. And that's what I'm finding is happening more and more. So,
love that.
yeah.
And yeah, it takes me on to two more questions that I think are really
Yes.
important. The first one is when it comes to most people think they're enjoying their business, right? When we
Okay.
first spoke, you said, "Yeah, I'm enjoying my business," because you were. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing wrong with your business except you subconsciously were like, there's something wrong with the business, like something's not quite right. So, what is the difference there? Because there's something not quite right, but you don't know what that is. So, what's the difference from before where you thought you were enjoying the business, but compared to now? Because one of the things you used to say is like, I don't know what I do with all these hours in the day, Martin. You say that you can run this entire business from 2, 3, 4 hours, like all this. What do I do with my time? Like, what am I going to do with myself? So, what is that like? Because you've in a year you've completely transformed into that person. So, for the outside, talk to me about your experience of that.
Oh, well, I guess like it creates so much more time to do more purposeful things in the background that
Mm,
are then going to support the longevity of what it is that you're building here and you're doing here.
yeah.
What exactly was the question? Just tell me again.
So yeah, no, that's a perfect answer as well. I think one of the pieces I want to know is like people think they're enjoying their business, yeah.
Oh,
So
yep,
so
that's
they
right.
think they're kind of tapping in and they're like, oh, I'm doing all this low end
Yep,
stuff and all
yep,
this stuff, I'm enjoying it. But what's the difference? Because you
yep,
did enjoy it, but
yep.
there's something different now. What's
Oh,
that?
yep, that's right. Um, I was still chasing the income.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
That's big.
yeah.
Huge.
So like I was still pretty good at pre-qualifying people and like
Mm,
definitely people I was only going to work with people who were, a certain person. So I was still working with soulmate clients back then, but I was willing to compromise my time and energy where it wasn't a fit and a match to
yeah.
serve them.
Yes.
That's what the difference is because I was chasing the dollar and I didn't want to lose the income if I was like, oh, I just can't do sessions at that time, or I don't do a session a week, or like whatever it was. I was too afraid, I guess, to be an authority because I just wanted the clients to sign up because I was still, even though
Mm,
I wouldn't have thought that I was at that time, I was still actually focused on the money piece.
yeah. That's really interesting, isn't it? Because again, you didn't know that. It wasn't like you were sat there counting
No.
dollar bills. You were like, "Hey, I love this. Like, this is my thing." But
Yeah.
the income was still dictating how you worked and how you set up yourself in the
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And saying that too, it could be at some other level right now as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's the
Like
cool thing, right?
that there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's only an issue when, like you say, is it no longer works for you. You know, like this worked for you until last year and then it
Yeah.
didn't. And now it's something new. So
Yeah.
this could work for you for a season as well, which is awesome. Cool.
Yeah. 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 That was huge. Yeah, just not like being able to do everything on my terms, because at the end of the day, I'm not chasing the money. It's
Mm,
all here. I'm fully firmly planted in the identity. And so, yeah, if it's not a fit and a match, then it's a detriment, actually. Like, I'm not going to, like before we got started, I mean, I was running a 6:30 a.m. session once a week.
yeah.
And I was doing some other odd times that, I sort of convinced myself that it was okay. And I made the best of it, of course, and I made it work. But it wasn't in congruency with my values. It really wasn't. And then when we started to work together, and then those times that weren't aligned with me, really, I could really feel how much I actually really didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, every day I wake up and it's like there's more light because I'm not doing anything that I don't want to do at
Yeah.
all. Or,
Yeah.
whereas before I was doing everything that I wanted to do, but I was compromising. So there was a level there that was sort of underlying, but that's
Love that.
gone now. So every day it's like, oh, today is awesome because every session is scheduled at a time that serves myself. And the whole business model that you taught is run in such a beautiful way that it creates so much spaciousness in the background where I really understand what you used to say too, that you've got the capacity to be behind the scenes in that higher consciousness because you're not looking after 100 people in low end offers and running, 20 sessions throughout a week.
Yeah.
I really understand that now that you're in like that higher consciousness because there's not so many things going on
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Love that.
Yeah.
Um, it's really nice to hear like how you have evolved throughout the time. It really is because again, I keep saying it. You were doing really well. Everything was fine, but to now sit here where you're obviously there's a different vibe, isn't there? There's a different energy. I would say there's more leadership than ever before.
Yeah.
So I know
Yes.
that one of those things comes that has come through for you is the pricing and charging more for what you do, and
Yeah.
that requires leadership. So
Yes.
talk to me about that transition, because again, I would say there isn't a coach in the marketplace really that wouldn't like to charge more premium fees and do it easily, effortlessly as you are doing it right now. So
Yeah.
what's been the changes there for you?
Um, Really coming back into the confidence of it. Like when I left corporate, I sold um well, $5,000, but then sort of 8 months on from that, I then sold my first five $25,000 packages. But the clients got amazing results and it was a great journey and I was at where I was at. But I just feel like that I wasn't in the identity to be able to sort of hold that long term. There was sort of something about it that it didn't feel as grounded as what it feels now. It definitely didn't feel like neutral in my nervous system.
Mm.
And it felt, I felt really responsible in the past when people invested at that higher price point. I felt like I was responsible to get the results for them.
Yeah.
And so, it's one of the pillars that you've taught is this, mule versus magician. And so I was working really, really hard behind the scenes to
Mm.
make sure that my clients got the results. But some of those clients as well weren't at the level of commitment that is required to get the results. So
Mm.
that can create a lot of frustration for a coach that is working really hard to get their clients the results, but the client actually isn't in a place of commitment themselves that is required
Yeah.
to get the results. And so that can be, a journey. Um, but yeah, stepping back into high ticket, I knew that I was a high ticket person the minute that I left corporate. I just was attracted to high ticket. I had no idea how I was going to journey, through all of that,
Yeah.
but I knew that that really excited me, and I just felt like that I was here for it. So yeah, just now to have, I guess, like the foundations in the background, to know that people are coming into a movement here
Yeah.
and to know what the model is, like what you've taught, and to take that on. And, and I have to say, it took some time to
Yeah.
really understand what that was, but not only to understand it, but to really like embody it as
Mm.
well. Um, that's great to experience that and witness that too, because I know that that will take time with my own clients as well.
Mm.
The 30 days is amazing, the level one, but the game really begins in the level two. Like 30 days is just a little bit of a taster.
Yes.
The work really happens in the level two. And yeah, I can see, palpably the difference between 30 days and then when they come
Yeah.
over into the 6 months, it's a whole new world. And
Yeah.
that was my experience as well with you. So yeah, to be able to receive the premium and to receive my first premium 35,000 on the sales call, I mean, that has to be one of the highlights of 2025, especially
Love
because there
that.
was some fear. There was some major fear that came up because we went and did the tip of Australia, and I was, going to be out off socials. And originally the plan was for me to fly home early, but I, took sort of 3 weeks off, and I was like, oh, we got a huge tax bill and all of the stuff. And I just actually made the decision that I was just going to close a premium client on the call. And 6 days later, when we got home from that trip, I did. And I thought she was actually transferring me the $1,000 non-refundable deposit. And I actually looked twice when I saw 35,000 come
Yep.
through on the call.
That's the thing,
So,
isn't it, Jess? It's like when you set the standard,
yeah,
like you allow in the standard.
yeah,
And I remember the conversation. You were going to the tip of Australia and you were like, okay, the basically you were asking like things are going well, but this is a real test. Can I make money when I don't have, the payment plans guaranteed, all these things? Can I make money? And my answer is always yes. Like you command the money
Yeah.
and you commanded the money. So congratulations.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
really
And
cool.
to think about how much work and hours and energy and output that 35,000 would have taken in the old way.
Yeah.
And actually, it just came on the back end of a holiday where majority of that time I didn't even have phone service.
Yes.
And yeah, just to receive that in one phone call in full, like, yeah,
Talk to me
huge,
about the
huge win.
clients as well, Jess, because high ticket's great for you as the business owner. I the reason I do it, and I say this pretty openly, is because I get clients like you, and I get
Yeah.
clients like my clients,
Yes.
and they are in my mind, as I've said to you before, and I've said this to you on our first call together, it's not about the money to me. It's about the decision and the
Yeah.
commitment of where you're going. And are
Yeah.
you into the commitment that I ask for? And that's it.
Yeah.
Decision yes or no. So for you, as you're really stepping into this now, and like,
Yeah.
I can just tell by your wording, like this is so ingraining into you, which is awesome. Like
Yeah.
that's really what it takes. So
Yeah.
what is it's not to compare old clients either, but it's
Yeah.
just like what are your clients like now? What can you see in them that is really exciting
Yeah.
from the way you're doing things right now?
Yeah, it really is the commitment, I
Yeah.
think. Like I think it was just before and no judgment on those clients that I looked after in the past. It's like that they had a level of commitment, but
Yeah.
like it's almost like it's a whole new playing field. Like it's a whole it just everything is just at a whole new level.
Yeah.
They've got so much more skin in game. And yeah, it's so much more rewarding, but it's also a lot easier. It's non-draining energetically. It's actually adds to your energy when you're working with people at this level. It's just so rewarding. It's intimate. There's a real long-term relationship there.
Yeah.
A lady that just signed up to work with me and has already doubled her investment with me. I mean, we've already talked about the potentiality of her continuing with me year after year, and
An expectation. Yeah.
she has invested in coaches for a very long time, and is already like really successful coach. And one of the reasons that she shared why she didn't stick with the same coach has been she outgrew all of her coaches.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing that because I will never be a coach that will be outgrown ever.
Mm.
And so I love that because I know that the investment that I make into myself for growth will just come back and multiply because it will keep my clients in the movement with me as well.
Love that.
Um, so yeah, it's a whole new playground. Love the fact that my clients are traveling from all around the world for their in-person stuff. I love the in-person stuff. And yeah, I'm really excited to think that these level of clients will potentially journey with me for 3, 5, maybe 8 years. There's nothing more exciting than that intimacy and that relationship and helping support them in what's really important to them. So
Love that.
yeah, that I think in my world before, I definitely had clients that did re-sign for 2 or 3 years, but they dropped off because they sort of stopped playing the game.
Yeah.
They stopped seeing the vision and moving towards the vision. And yeah, these new people that are coming into my world, they're here to stay. Like they're here to stay in their vision,
Yes.
right? Like that they're here to stay in the movement that they're in. And so
Love it.
it's just wonderful. It's so fulfilling. It's not hyped, it's relaxing. I mean, it is very exciting at times, but
Yeah. I
yeah,
get
it's
that. I
something
get
that
that.
you can really take in your stride as well, because it's really integrated. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well said. And I suppose my final question really on this is
Yes.
you came to Auckland, so you flew to Auckland the second time I'm talking about in about 10 days. So jumped on a plane to come and see me. So that was for my 3 days, 30 days to paid. So I know that was, I remember I asked you the question on the final day as we finished up, and I said, what have you taken from it? And I remember really, an emotional Jess was there and going along the lines of, this is going to serve me and my clients for the next 10 years, something
Yeah.
along those lines. Because that's a big part of my business model. Like that is a place that I hold really sacred to like the people in the room and what I do. I
Yeah.
love running those 3 days. So
Yes.
for you, what what did you get from that? Because you weren't coming in to necessarily get paid in 30 days, even though that was a natural consequence of it. But
Yeah.
I know it's a few months ago now, but can you remember what you got from being in that room? Just
Yeah.
for those who maybe haven't been in the room with me yet.
Yeah. Oh, a lot. And I think for me, running events like that myself, just being in the room,
Yeah.
help support me in being in that room, facilitating that for my clients. I love being in a boardroom now. I still
Mm.
love the retreat space,
Yeah.
but love being in the boardroom. It has created women flying in for VIP days with me because that's what we did first. And then I came over for the 3 days. But I think it was the model piece for me. There was a lot of background model building.
Yeah.
And I think that that really started to lay a solid foundation for me
Mm.
because even though I'd been really successful, I didn't have a model in the background. And I
Yeah.
think that that in itself has changed everything. I think that I wouldn't have been able to hit the levels that I'm hitting, and I haven't even tapped into what's coming yet. I know that. I just think that I might have been, sort of plucking daisies and pulling strings if I didn't have that
Yeah.
model in the background because that's the lighthouse. Like
Yes.
that's the lighthouse. And so I didn't really know what you were talking about in the beginning, where you were like, it's the foundations in the background that will always lead to your millions. I was like, yeah, I
Mm.
can understand that logically. I get what you're saying, but I really know what you mean now that,
Yeah.
yeah, that I have that. And it just feels so grounding. And that's what brings in the clients.
Yeah.
That's the lighthouse. Like that's the stability that it's like the mission and the vision. And yeah, it's those foundations, that model in the background that you can always go back to. It also protects you as well. It protects your
Yeah.
clients. There's a real direction with it. And
Yeah.
I think that I didn't have that. I was lacking that and I'd learned a lot of different things from a lot of different coaches and all great stuff, but I had a mixed bag of things that I was, tapping into at different times and nothing was just like we follow these standard operational procedures. This is how we do things. We don't waver. And this is the model in the background. And this is the energetics of the model in the background as well. It's not just the model in the background, it's the energetics of it as well. It's the identity of it as well. So,
Yeah. I think that's brilliant. Really well said. Because I talk about that for me. It's so important that a client comes in and does that and then, just embodies that. I know that's a
yeah,
really cliche word, but it is.
yeah,
That's the direction piece.
yeah,
And it's built on values. It's built on your values, my
yeah,
values. There's a
yeah,
connection piece there. So it's
yeah,
really great to hear that that is what you're taking away because foundationally, that is your obviously, you're coming up against new challenges all the time. That's what we do. That's
oh, yeah,
our growth journey. But you're now equipped to lean
yeah,
back. You're now
yeah,
equipped to
yes,
consistently know that is your safety. And that's really key, especially for someone at the beginning who said, "Hey, I need safety." And I was like, "Yeah, cool. We'll see. We'll see." So that's
oh,
awesome. Yeah, really cool. All right. Final question then, Jess.
yeah,
There's people watching this.
yep,
And for yourself, I think people have got a really good idea of where you were at and kind of now where the celebration part is. If there's one thing actually, before I dive into it, what's one thing that you're most celebrating about yourself in the last 12 months, out of everything, even if it's nothing to do directly to what we've done here, but what is one thing you're celebrating for yourself?
It really has to be that time freedom.
Yeah.
Just everything has just settled down. I'm not feeling the urgency of, oh my goodness, I have to go out into the marketplace and create something. I'm not chasing the money like I was. I'm just allowing it to come to me. I'm allowing myself to feel greater safety and just walking in the unknown.
Yeah.
And,
Good.
so as a byproduct of that has changed my world, because in the background with my family, like if I was spending time with my husband and the kids, there would be a part of my presence that would be taken away in the background, because there was like this pressuring of, you need to get back to work.
Yeah.
You got to get clients, you got to make money. Like, that's not there anymore. And so if things pop up, it was always like, oh no, like you should be working. Like, this is a long time that you're taking out for the family. We've had kids with their end of year celebrations. Three, Brody graduated last week.
Yeah.
I've hardly done anything in the last 2 weeks. And there hasn't been that at all. Oh, you should be working. Like, this is taking away from your business. No, actually, I'm doing what's highest on my values.
Yeah.
So, as a byproduct of that, I'm actually going to get to receive more. I'm wealthier because I'm actually prioritizing my time and energy. So, that in itself is the biggest win. I've got more time than what I've ever had. I don't feel pressured to do anything.
Mm.
Just everything has changed. Everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think for people watching on, as I said, like it's really great to hear how you talk now. Again, there's authority, there's leadership. Most of all, it's grounded. That's
Yeah.
the difference. And I don't know if you feel it or see it. I'm sure you do,
Yeah.
but it is there. So
Yeah.
it's really nice to
Yeah.
hear you. Just to hear you in this element right now is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people watching on are kind of going, okay. So if you're watching this and Jess is on your radar as a mentor, as a whatever that word is for you, I'm sure you've got a good idea of what is in her values and where that is.
Yeah.
Um, so congratulations on the last 12 months.
Oh,
It's been a rock star of a ride. It really has. So
yeah.
good job. Final question, Jess,
Yes.
if you're happy to. For those watching in, what would you say it's like to work with myself from and in your words, not mine? What has it been like? Where do you think the value has been for you?
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of coaches over the last 5 years, and you are by far the best coach that I've ever worked with. I've never received this level of transformation. Um, you're just so different from anyone that I've worked with. It's just so interesting that every single thing that you've taught, it just aligns with me at that soul level. It's
Yeah,
just like I called you in and then you came, and just everything is just so right for
yeah,
me. And yeah, so just love being in your energy. Obviously, just signing up to work with you, there's just growth is just a byproduct.
mm,
When you invited me to the Gold Coast, I was just like, absolutely. And I didn't care about even what we were covering, because I just
yeah,
knew that just by being in the space,
yeah.
going to the Gold Coast, that just, brings whatever it is for me and for, my next iteration. So yeah, you feel like you're really being looked after working with you.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it's just so valuable. Yeah.
love
Highly
it.
recommend, and
Thank
will,
you so much.
yeah, just, yeah, looking forward to the future as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, same. And thank you for that as well. It is nice to hear it from your perspective.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Yeah.
script. It's just like, what's it like for you? Because
Yeah.
that's your personal experience. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
And
and my husband
really
really
good.
loves you as well, and that was really important for me too, because when you are married and you're working with a male,
Yeah,
everyone needs to be really supportive, and
sure.
so he's really really happy about our mentorship and for the future and all of that too. So yeah, you're amazing.
Too kind, too kind. That's I'm not blushing, but I should be. Thank you so much, Jess. Appreciate your time. This has been awesome. And again, I have probably felt like how much you transformed on this call today. I'm just like, yeah, this is really cool. So congratulations, because it is all you as well. Like I'm sat here going, hey,
Yeah.
what's it like to work with me? But it is you. You've got to do the work. So
Yeah.
congratulations. It's great to see. So thank you again, and can't wait for the next iteration, as you say. Love it. Thank you. And
Thank
how do
you.
people connect with you? Is it Jessica Quigley on Facebook, isn't it? In case
Yeah.
somebody's watching. And I think
Yes.
that's where you mostly hang out, isn't it?
Yes, I am a Facebook queen. I am on Instagram, but all of my attention is on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Love it. All
Yeah.
right. I'll tag that into the bottom. But thank you again, Jess.
Thank you.